stylishnaija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys a lot for subscribing to my channel, for watching my videos, for liking my videos. I appreciate for the thumbs up and the thumbs down, and yeah, I appreciate everything. That's just the truth. It's really keeps me going. So today I'm actually going to be showing you how to cut and sew. I'm just going to niche this gown this way. How to cut and sew a band, a shoulder band, off shoulder gown. It's really simple and it is trendy. So I'm going to show you how to do it with puffed and sleeve. It's really simple and easy. I'm going to make it in the simplest way for you to understand. You know, when I say simplest, I really do simple styles. I make them really simple for you. Yeah. So I have my fabric out here. So I'm going to make use of 2 yards of fabric for somebody of like my size. So if you like what I'm putting on, so you could see what I'm putting on, if you like it, so I'm going to drop the link down on the description box, or you could go through my channel and just scroll through. You see how I made this dress. So I have a full video of it there on the channel. So like I was saying, I'm going to be making use of 2 yards of fabric. So but for somebody that is a plus size, I advise you make use of 3 yards of fabric. So it's really simple. So the way for you to fold your fabric, you use the biggest part of your measurement, which is going to be my hip, and my hip is 40. So I'll divide 40 into 4. I have 10, and then I'm going to add between 3 and 5 inches allowance to it. So that's it. So basically you just fold at 15 inches. So that's on fold like this, 15 inches. So I have I folded 2. The first one is 15 inches, then the other one you add your zipper allowance, because the dress is going to have a zipper at the back. So I've placed them together. I'm going to be measuring it out. It's really simple. Since it's an off-shoulder dress, we're going to be dropping with 5 inch. 5 inches is like for a modest off-shoulder dress. A blouse is just moderate, but if you want the ones that shows cleavage a lot, you could use between 6 and 7 inches. So we're going to be making use of 5 inches. So I'm just going to place my tape like this. Placing my tape like this, so I've excluded the 5 inches upwards. So my bust point, that's from my shoulder to my nipple point, that's 10 inches, and then from my shoulder to my underbust, that's 13 inches, and then from my shoulder to my waist, that's this point, that's 18 inches, and then from my shoulder to my hip, that's 28 inches, and then the full length of my dress is 38 inches. I'm going to be adding 2 inches for allowance, that's to fold. So it's really simple. So the first thing we're going to be doing for a gown like this, I'm going to measure out at the shoulder measurement. Even though it's an off shoulder, we're still going to make reference the off shoulder, the shoulder measurement. So I'm going to be measuring 7 inches, which is 14. My shoulder is 14. I'll divide into 2, so I have 7 inches. So I'm just going to add 1 inch allowance or 1.5 inch allowance to this point, and then I'm going to be cutting out my sleeve. That's my round armhole. That's my armhole. So remember we used 5 inches to drop, and basic armhole usually they're between 8 and 9. So I'm going to be making use of 8 inches. So I still removed my ½ inch. So I'm just going to place this like this, and then I'm going to place this like this, and then I'm just going to use my pattern curve. If you don't have a pattern curve, you don't have any problem. You can just use your free hand to do that. So this is my armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure my bust. So this, you could decide to do this in 2 ways. You could make it a bustier, but I'm just going to making it a straight. So I'm going to measure out my bust measurement, which is 36. So you divide 36 into 4. So when you divide your bust measurement, you divide into 4, and then you add your allowance to it. So that's how you basically do that. So I'm just going to come to this point like this. I'm just going to make a mark, and then the next measurement is my under bust measurement. I'm going to be making use of 30 inches, which is 7.5 when you divide into 4, and then I'm going to add my allowance. So I'm adding between 2.5 to 3 inches allowance. So the next measurement is going to be my waist measurement, which I'm going to use 34. So you just add, and then you add your allowance to it. So I'm just going to do this now. So you see what I have. So the next thing is my hip measurement, which is 40. When you divide 40 into 4, like I said initially, you have 10 inches, and then you add your allowance. So you could add between 2 to 3 inches allowance. So the next thing, I'm just going to come like this. It's really simple to make a pencil gown. It's not really difficult. So the next thing, for the down part of your gown, so you could decide to just reduce your inch. That's from your hip measurement. You can decide to reduce it a little bit by as much as 2 inches, and then this is what I'm going to do. So you could see our gown is done. So I'm just going to cut it out, and then before we include the neckline part. So for the dart, I'm just going to be putting my regular and waist dart. So I'm just going to take it like this. That's from my waist point like this. So I'm going to use between 6 inches. So I'm just going to roll it like this. So I'm going to dart it when I'm done, and I'm making use of 4 inches. So it's going to be like this. So that's going to be for my dart line. It's going to be this point. So I'm just going to dart it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do the neckline. So it is just like a battue neckline. That's like a canoe and neckline, or both neckline. So it's really simple. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to use 1 inch from this point. So this is like my 1 inch, because you know the band is going to be running through the entire top point. So the essence of reducing it by this 1 inch is just to make the band not to be too high at the end of the day. So if you want it deeper, you could decide to still come down more. So from this point, I'm just going to, for the front neckline and the back neckline, I'm just use 1.5. So I'm just going to take it like this to the armhole point. So this is my 1.5 and 1.5. So I'm just going to use my curve just to get that. So I'm going to cut it out now. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go and couple my dress. What I mean by couple is I'm going to go and join it like this. So I'll join the back and the front together. So when I'm done, after joining the back and the front together from the side, then I'll make the dart. Before we'll come back and I'll show you how to cut the sleeve, and then we'll fix the sleeve first, then before we'll put the band on top of it. So we'll just take it one step at a time. Okay, so welcome back, guys. So you could see I finished coupling my dress, so you could see the shape of my gown. So if you are going to be making use of a stretchy fabric like a scuba or a crepe, you actually don't need to add a zipper to your dress because it is stretchy already. But if you are going to be making use of a stiff fabric, you are going to add your zipper, and this is the time for you to add your zipper to your dress at this point now before you continue. So you are just going to connect your zipper. You are going to fix it to your dress. So when you fix it, you are going to bring out a part of it out like this. You're just going to connect it like this, and then you are going to leave it like this. The zipper is going to stay, it's going to sit like this. So when you fix your band on top of it like this, the band is going to be on top, and then you'll be able to open up your zipper like this on your dress. So I hope that is clear. So it's really simple. So you fix your zipper now, and then make sure that the head part is like this, and your zipper hook is like this, and then this is where we're going to be attaching the band. So your zipper is going to sit like this. I'm just trying to explain it so you don't get confused. So we're going to continue now. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to shape out our armhole, and we're going to be making use of our shoulder measurement. So I'm just going to fold it this way, and then we're going to measure the shoulder. So the shoulder I was using initially, I told you, I said it's 14 inches. When you divide into 4, you have 7 inches. So this is like my 7 inches now. So at this point now, you get your exact measurements out. So this is my 7 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do now, from this 7 inches point, I'm just going to put my tape like this, and then I'll measure out my armhole. And the armhole I'm making use of 9 inches. So you see what I have here. This is 9 inches. So I'm just going to slant it like this. So I'm just going to slant it to this point because I'm going to be cutting it out. This is where I'm going to be attaching my sleeves. So I'm just going to cut it out like this. So I've cut it out now. So you trim out any excess that you have. Just trim them out. So our dress is ready. So guys, so the next thing I'm going to show you now is how to do the sleeve of this off-shoulder strap and gown. So for the sleeve, I actually have a video already of how to make this sleeve in detail. So I'm going to drop the link on the description box, so you'll be able to watch it, and then you know how to do the sleeve. But I'm just going to do a quick explanation of it. So in making an off-shoulder sleeve like this, what you are going to consider, because you see that the top part of the sleeve is puff and then the down part also is puffy. So you are going to, and normally you're supposed to use your round armhole measurement. So my own round armhole, that's from this point to this point, is actually 10 inches. So if you are making this kind that is a puff, so you could decide to double it, which is 20 inches. So because of the pleat, so when you do 20 inches, you now divide and the 20 inches into 2, which is going to give me like 10 inches. So I could decide to do and 12, as much as 12 inches because of the pleat. Normally I'm supposed to use 5 inches if I'm not going to be pleating it, because from this point to this point is 10 inches, so half of it is 5 inches. So because I'm going to be pleating it, so that's why I'm adding as much as another 5 inches to it. So this is what I'm going to have on this point. So I'm going to have 10 inches. So let me just use 10 inches on this point. So the next thing you are going to do, you are going to measure the length of your sleeve. So the balloon part, how much length you want it to be. So mine, I'm just going to make use of 11 inches. So this is the length of the balloon part, because I'm going to use this to make a band on it. So this is 11 inches. And then the width that I'm going to use for the down part, I'm going to make use of I'm going to make use of 13 inches. So this is 13 inches. So the next thing for you to consider from your armhole point, so this is where my 10 inches stop, because I will pleat it. I'm just trying to explain so much. You are going to measure this part of your armhole that we have already cut out. So what I actually have here, I have about 6 inches. So from this point, I'm just going to put my tape like this, and then I'm going to measure my 6 inches. So I'm just going to measure it like this. So at the end of the day, this is going to be my round armhole, and then I'm going to cut it out now. So like I said, I'm going to put the link down so you watch it and then you understand it more. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure out the band that I'm going to use. For the down part of my sleeve. So you measure your round band on this point, and what I actually have here is 10 inches. So I'm going to use 5 inches. This is like my 5 inches, and then I'll add 1 inch allowance to it. So I'm going to go and couple my sleeve together and then bring it back. Okay, so guys, so you could see the sleeve. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and fix the sleeve. So and in fixing the sleeve, I'm just going to come from this top point like this. I'm going to fix it from this point like this to this point. So I'm going to go and do that now and then come back and show you. Then we'll come back and cut the band for the top. So I've finished and coupling the sleeve to it. So because this is a sample, so that is why I'm just using one sleeve. So when you are doing yours, you make sure you fix the both sleeves together. So after fixing the both sleeves together, this is what you are going to do. Before you cut out the band, you are going to take your tape and then you are going to measure round. You are going to measure it round. So you start from one end of this sleeve here to the other end of the other sleeve, the other fixed sleeve. So you are going to measure from this point like this. You are going to measure it all the way through to the second sleeve like this. So for this, like this, I'm going to have maybe like 21. So and then you are going to double it. So that is how much band you are going to cut out. So the band is going to another way for you to do it that is going to be really easy. You could decide to just take your tape like this, and then you just pass your tape round your shoulder. You're just going to pass your tape round your shoulder. That's both your arm and your shoulder. So you get it out and then you're going to use it. If you are going to be making use of a stretchy fabric like a scuba or a crepe, I advise on your band, you can decide to reduce your band by as much as 1 or 2 inches. And I advise for you to make use of a stretchy fabric. It's always better when you are making such bands for off-shoulder dresses. So you can decide to reduce it by 1.5 inch or 1 inch. So it makes it fit and properly. So I'm just going to cut out a straight band now. It's not so you decide how much and width you actually want for your band. So for mine, I'm just going to be making use of about 3.5 inch. So after fixing, it's going to come back to about 3 inch, or I could use 3 inch. So after stitching, it comes to about 2.5 inch. So I'm just going to use the measurement now and cut out my own band, and then I'll fix it like I said. So when fixing, you're going to fix the band when fixing. So I'm going to explain to you. So let me just cut mine out first. Okay, so So you could see, so I finished cutting out my band. So this, I'm just going to do a quick explanation and before I go and stitch it all up. So this is how you are going to start fixing your band. You are going to take your band like this. You are going to make a notch at the center, that's this midpoint. You make a notch here, and then you are going to start fixing. You make your notch on your band also, the middle of your band. You make a notch like this, and then you are going to start stitching from this point. So you are just going to, you're going to stitch it and then turn it like this. So you could decide to do it in such a way that the rough edge is going to be inside like this. So you're going to stitch it like this, and then at the end of the day it's going to be standing like this. Then you weave or use an overlock and to lock this point. So you're just going to fix it round like this, and it's going to come. So you see what I'm doing, it's going to come like this. And then when you get to this point, you have already fixed your zipper like this, and then this one is going to come because the other sleeve is going to be here. It's going to come like this. So when you get to this end point, you are going to cut your excess. You're just going to trim off your excess, and then you are going to stitch both of them together. You're going to stitch both of them together. That's, you're going to join your band, or you could decide to take the complete measurement and then you join your band, and then you just connect it round. And so at the end of the day, your band is going to be looking like this. Your band is going to be like this, while the zipper is going to be inside like this. So you'll be able to open your dress and then zip it back. So that's just that. So I'm going to go and round it up and then come back and show you. Okay guys, so this is, you can see this is the final look of our shoulder band off shoulder dress. So it really turned out very well. So this part that I'm really excited is even the sleeveless part. So you could see, in case you don't want to attach a sleeve to it, you want to make it off shoulder, so you could still go through the whole process and then you make it like this. So I'm really happy that it really came out and so well. So you could see the off shoulder part. So, and then this is the sleeve part. So guys, if you find this video illustration helpful, I would really appreciate it if you will drop a comment for me and then hit on the like button. So if you actually made yours, you could share it with me on Stylish Naija Sewing Group on Facebook, or you could also share it with me on the group page, which is Stylish Naija page on Facebook. So thank you so much guys.